My name is Nysera. I live alone in a small apartment. It is not big, but it is mine. I worked very hard to get it. Every chair, every table, every little thing in my home came from my own money. I still remember the day I got the keys. I felt proud. I felt free. I told myself, Nysera, you did this. You made your own life. I have a simple job. I work long hours, but I do not complain. I wake up early every day. I go to work, come home, cook my food, and rest. My life is quiet. Some people may think it is boring, but I like it. I like peace. I like knowing that everything in my life is under my control. I'm careful with money. I do not spend a lot. I save little by little every month. Sometimes I do not buy things I want, because I think about the future. I want to feel safe. I want to know that if something bad happens, I can take care of myself. My family is not very far from me, but I do not see them every day. My relationship with my mother, Betrayal, is okay. She is not a bad person, but she likes to control things. She often tells me what I should do. She says things like, you should visit more, or you should help your brother more. I listen, but I do not always agree. My brother, Kavrix Dorn, is very different from me. He does not worry about money. He likes nice things, expensive things. My mother always supports him. Since we were children, she always gave him more attention. If he wanted something, he got it. If I wanted something, I had to work for it. I remember one time when we were young, I wanted a new book. My mother said, you don't need it now. But when my brother wanted a new phone, she bought it for him the next day. I did not say anything, but I felt it inside my heart. I felt small. Even now, nothing has changed. My mother always says, he is your brother. You should help him. I do help sometimes, but I also have my own life. I cannot always say yes. One evening, after a long day at work, I got a call from my mother. I was tired, but I answered. Nysera, she said, I have something to tell you. Her voice sounded excited. What is it, Mom? I asked. Your brother is getting married, she said. I was surprised. Really? That's fast. Yes, she said. Her name is Nysera Nix. She is beautiful. You will like her. I sat down on my small sofa. That's good news, I said, but something in my chest felt strange. I did not know why. The wedding will be very big, my mother continued. Very special. I stayed quiet for a moment. Then I said, that sounds expensive. She laughed a little. Yes, but it is important. It is his big day. After that call, I thought about it for a long time. A big wedding needs a lot of money. I knew my brother did not have much savings. I also knew my mother did not have much money either. So I asked myself, how will they pay for it? A few days later, my mother called me again. Nysera, she said softly, we need to talk about the wedding. I felt something heavy in my stomach. Okay, what about it? Well, she said slowly, your brother wants a very nice wedding. A big place, good food, beautiful decorations. I nodded, even though she could not see me. That sounds good. Yes, she said, but we need help. I knew what she meant before she said it. You have money saved, she continued. You live alone. You don't have many expenses. You can help your brother. It is for family. I closed my eyes. I took a deep breath. Mom, I said gently, I understand, but I have my own plans. I saved that money for my future. I cannot give it away. There was silence on the phone. Then she said, He is your brother, Nysera. I know, I said, but I still have my own life. Her voice became colder. You are being selfish. That word hurt me. I felt it like a sharp knife. I am not selfish, I said quietly. I just want to be responsible. She sighed. Fine, do what you want. Then she ended the call. After that, I felt very sad. I sat in my apartment, looking around at everything I worked for. I asked myself, am I wrong? But deep inside, I knew my answer. No, I was not wrong. I just wanted to protect my life. Days passed. I tried to forget about the problem. I went to work. I cooked my food. I watched TV. I told myself everything would be okay. But something felt different. My mother did not call me again. My brother did not send any message. It was too quiet. One day, after a long and tiring shift, I walked back to my apartment. The sun was going down. The sky was orange and pink. I just wanted to go inside, take a shower, and sleep. When I reached my door, I stopped. Something was wrong. The door was not fully closed. My heart started to beat fast. I was sure I locked it before I left. Slowly, I pushed the door open. I stepped inside and froze. There were people in my apartment, strangers. They were moving things. My table was in a different place. My sofa was covered with cloth. There were boxes on the floor. Decorations were everywhere. I could not understand what I was seeing. One woman looked at me and smiled like nothing was wrong. Oh, you must be Nysera, she said. We are preparing the place. Preparing? What? I asked, my voice shaking. Before she could answer, I heard another voice behind me. Ah, you're home. I turned around. It was my mother. She was standing there like everything was normal. Mom, what is this? I asked. She walked inside calmly. It's for your brother's wedding, she said. My mind went blank. My apartment? I asked. Yes, she said. We need space to prepare. This is a good place. I felt like the ground was moving under my feet. How did they get in? I asked slowly. She looked at me and said something that broke me inside. I gave them your keys. At that moment, I could not breathe. My safe place, my home, was no longer mine. I stood there in my apartment, but it did not feel like my home anymore. My chest felt tight. My hands were shaking. I looked around slowly. My things were moved. My space was gone. People I did not know were touching everything. Mom, I said softly, you gave them my keys? She nodded like it was a normal thing. Yes. We needed a place. This is perfect. Perfect. That word hurt me so much. This is my home, I said. My voice was not strong. It sounded small. It's just for a short time, she replied. Don't make it a big problem. I looked at her. I could not believe what I was hearing. "Did you ask me?" I asked. She did not answer right away. Then she said, "I knew you would say no." That answer felt like a heavy stone in my heart. "So you did it anyway?" I asked. She crossed her arms. "It's for your brother. You should support him." At that moment, I saw my brother, Kievrix Dorn, walking out from my bedroom. My bedroom. He was smiling, talking on his phone. When he saw me, he ended the call. "Oh, hey," he said, like nothing was wrong. I stared at him. "What are you doing in my room?" "We are organizing things," he said. "Relax." Relax. I could not believe it. "This is my apartment," I said louder now. "You can't just come here and take over." He shrugged. "It's just for the wedding. Don't be so dramatic." Dramatic. My heart started to hurt more. It felt like nobody was listening to me. Nobody cared. Then I noticed something else. Boxes. Big boxes. Expensive decorations. Flowers. Lights. This was not small. This was not simple. "This is too much," I said. "Where did all this come from?" My mother looked at me, then looked away. "Don't worry about it," she said. But I did worry. Something felt very wrong. I walked to the kitchen. I opened a drawer. My things were not there. Someone moved them. I opened another cabinet. Same thing. Everything was different. I turned back to my mother. "You can't do this," I said. "You cannot take my home." She sighed, like I was the problem. "Nysera," she said, "why are you acting like this? It's just a house." Just a house? No, it was not just a house. "It's my life," I said quietly. She looked at me, but her eyes were cold. "Family is more important." I felt tears in my eyes, but I did not want to cry in front of them. Then she said something that shocked me even more. "And also," she added, "we used some of your savings." My body froze. "What?" I whispered. She spoke like it was nothing. "I had access to your account. I took some money for the wedding." I could not hear anything for a moment. The room felt silent. My ears were ringing. "You took my money?" I asked slowly. "Yes," she said. "We needed it." I felt like my heart broke into pieces. "That was my money," I said. "I worked for it." "It's for your brother," she repeated. "You should be happy to help." Happy? I felt pain. I felt anger. I felt empty. "How much?" I asked. She did not answer. "How much?" I said louder. My brother stepped in. "Enough," he said. "Don't make a scene." A scene. This was my life, not a scene. "You had no right," I said, my voice shaking. "No right to take my money. No right to enter my home." My mother looked tired now, but not sorry. "You are overreacting," she said. That was the moment I understood something very important. They did not respect me. Not my work, not my space, not my feelings. I was just someone they could use. I felt so small, so alone. I looked around one more time. My apartment was full of noise and people, but inside me, everything was quiet. I turned and walked to the door. "Where are you going?" my mother asked. "I'm leaving," I said. "Don't be silly," she replied. "Come back. We need to finish here." I stopped for a second. Then I said, "This is not my home anymore," and I walked out. The night air felt cold on my face. I did not know where to go. I just walked. My eyes were full of tears, but I kept moving. After some time, I called my friend. "Her name is Nysera." She answered quickly. "Nysera, are you okay?" I could not speak at first. Then I said, "Can I stay with you?" "Of course," she said. "Come now." When I arrived at her place, she opened the door and hugged me. "What happened?" she asked. I told her everything, every detail, the keys, the apartment, the money. Her face changed. She looked shocked, then angry. "They did what?" she said. I nodded. "I don't understand. Why would they do this to me?" She shook her head. "This is not normal, Nysera. This is wrong." I sat on her couch. I felt tired, so tired. "I feel like I lost everything," I said. She sat next to me. "You didn't lose everything," she said softly. "You still have yourself." I wanted to believe her. That night, I could not sleep. My mind was full of thoughts. Why did my mother do this? Why did my brother not care? Why did they think this was okay? Then another thought came into my mind. Something felt strange. The wedding was too big, too expensive. The decorations, the money, the rush. It did not make sense. My brother never cared about planning before. He was never this serious. And my mother, she was hiding something. I opened my eyes in the dark. "Something is wrong," I whispered to myself. This was not just about a wedding. There was something more. And I knew I had to find out the truth. The next morning, I woke up early at Elira's apartment. My body felt heavy, but my mind was already awake. I could not forget what happened. Every moment from yesterday played again and again in my head. I sat on the bed and looked at my phone. Something inside me changed. I was still hurt, but now I also felt something new. I felt suspicious. "This is not just a wedding," I said quietly to myself. I stood up and went to the kitchen. Elira was making tea. "You didn't sleep well, right?" she asked. I shook my head. "No." She gave me a warm cup. "Sit, tell me what you are thinking." I sat down and held the cup with both hands. "Elira," I said, "the wedding is too big, too expensive. My brother never had that kind of money." She nodded slowly. "I thought the same." "And my mom," I continued, "she took my savings without fear, like she was sure it was okay." Elira looked at me carefully. "You think they are hiding something?" "Yes," I said. "I feel it." There was a short silence. Then she said, "So what will you do?" I took a deep breath. "I will find the truth." That day, I did not go to work. I needed answers. First, I checked my bank account. My hands were shaking as I opened the app. When I saw the number, my heart dropped. A large amount of money was gone. Not a small amount. Not something simple. It was a big part of my savings. No, I whispered. I checked the transaction history. There were many transfers. Some were recent. Some were from a few weeks ago. That meant one thing. This did not start yesterday. This started earlier. They planned this, I said quietly. My chest felt tight again, but I stayed calm. I needed to think clearly. Next, I called someone I trusted. My cousin, Saran. He knows many people in the city. He hears things. "Hey, Saran," I said when he answered. "Nysera?" "Long time," he said. "What's wrong? You sound serious." "I need information," I said, "about my brother." There was a pause. "What kind of information?" he asked. "Anything," I said. "Money, work, problems, anything strange." He became quiet. "Why?" he asked. "Please," I said softly. "Just help me." He sighed. "Okay, give me some time." After that call, I felt nervous. What if I find something bad? But deep inside, I already knew. Something was wrong. A few hours later, my phone rang. It was Saran. "Nysera," he said, his voice low. "I found something." My heart started to beat fast. "What is it?" I asked. "Your brother. He has debts." My hand became cold. "Debts?" I repeated. "Yes," he said. "Big ones." I closed my eyes. "How big?" I asked. "Very big," he answered. "He borrowed money from different people, not just banks." That made my stomach hurt. Not just banks. That meant danger. "Why?" I asked. "What did he do with the money?" Siran hesitated. "I heard it's because of his fiancée," he said. "Lysara?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "She likes luxury, expensive clothes, parties, travel. Your brother tried to give her everything." I felt shock, then anger. "So he spent money he didn't have?" I said. "Yes," Saran replied, "and now he cannot pay it back." I walked slowly to the window. My head felt dizzy. "And the wedding?" I asked. Saran gave a small laugh, but it was not happy. "The wedding is just a cover," he said. "What do you mean?" "He needs money," Saran said. "Fast. The wedding is an excuse." Everything became clear in my mind. The big decorations, the rush, the pressure, my money, my apartment. This was never just about love or marriage. This was about debt and survival. "Does my mother know?" I asked quietly. There was silence for a moment. "Yes," Saran said. "She knows." That answer broke something inside me again. She knows. "And she still did this to me?" I said. "I'm sorry, Nysera," he said. I ended the call slowly. I stood there, looking outside, but I did not see anything. My mind was full. My brother lied. My mother helped him. They used me, not for family, not for love, but to fix a problem they created. Tears fell from my eyes, but this time it was different. Yesterday, I felt weak. Today, I felt angry. I turned around and grabbed my phone. "Elira," I said, "I know the truth." She looked at me. What is it? My brother has debts, I said. Big ones. The wedding is just a lie. Her eyes widened. What? And my mother knows everything, I added. She covered her mouth. That's terrible. I nodded. They used my money to fix his mistakes. And your apartment, she said. Yes, I replied. I felt my hands becoming steady now. My heart was still hurt, but my mind was clear. What will you do? Alira asked. I looked straight ahead. I will face them, I said. You sure? She asked. Yes, I said. This time, I will not stay quiet. I took a deep breath. They took my home, I continued. They took my money. I paused. Now, I will take back my life. At that moment, I was not the same person anymore. I was still Nysera Vaughn. But now, I was ready to fight. That afternoon, I stood in front of my apartment again. But this time, I was not scared. I was not confused. I knew the truth. And I was ready. I took a deep breath and opened the door. Inside, everything was still busy. People were moving around. Decorations were everywhere. It looked like a big event was coming soon. But to me, it still felt like a place that was taken from me. My mother, Valira Kaur, was standing near the table, giving instructions. My brother, Kevrix Dorn, was talking to someone, laughing like nothing was wrong. When they saw me, they both stopped. "Oh, you're back," my mother said. Her voice was calm, like yesterday never happened. I walked inside slowly. "Yes," I said, "I'm back." My brother smiled a little. "Good, we need to finish things." I looked at him directly. "No," I said, "we need to talk." The room became quiet. My voice was not loud, but it was strong. "This ends now," I said. My mother frowned. "Nysera, not now. We are busy." I shook my head. "No. Now." I took out my phone. "I know everything," I said. They looked at me, confused. "Your debts," I said, looking at my brother. "The money you borrowed, the people you owe." His face changed. "And you," I said, turning to my mother. You knew everything." She tried to speak. "Nysera, listen." "No," I said. "You listen." My hands were steady. "The wedding is not the real reason," I continued. "You used it as an excuse. You took my money. You took my home. Not for family, but to fix your problems." There was silence. Nobody moved. My brother looked angry now. "Who told you this?" he asked. "That doesn't matter," I said. "What matters is the truth." My mother stepped closer to me. "We did this for the family," she said. "You don't understand the pressure." I looked at her. "I understand enough," I said. "You chose him. Again." Her face became pale. "You always choose him," I continued. "No matter what he does, no matter how wrong it is." My brother stepped forward. "Stop talking like that," he said. "You are making this worse." I laughed a little, but there was no happiness in it. "Worse?" I said. You already made it worse. I raised my phone. I have proof, I said. Bank records, transactions, information about your debts. They both went quiet. You can't hide anymore, I added. My mother looked worried now. Nysera, please, we can fix this together. Together. That word felt empty. No, I said calmly. Not anymore. I walked to the door and held up a small bag. I already changed the locks, I said. Their eyes widened. You what? My brother said. This is my apartment, I replied. From now on, nobody enters without my permission. My mother looked shocked. You can't do this to your family. I looked at her one last time. You already did this to me, I said. Then I continued. I also removed your access to my bank account, I said. You will not touch my money again. My brother looked angry, but also nervous. What about the wedding? He asked. I shook my head. That is your problem, not mine. At that moment, some of the workers in the apartment started whispering. They heard everything. The truth was no longer hidden. And one more thing, I said. I opened my phone and showed a message. I told the extended family, I said. Everyone knows now. My mother stepped back. No, she whispered. My brother's face turned red. You ruined everything, he said. I looked at him calmly. No, I said. You did. The room felt different now. The power had changed. Before, I was the weak one. Now, I was in control. One by one, the workers stopped what they were doing. Some started packing their things. The big wedding dream was breaking. A few days later, everything changed. The wedding did not happen as planned. It became small, very simple. No big decorations, no luxury. Nysera Nix, my brother's fiancée, started asking questions. She learned about the debts. She was not happy. I heard they had many arguments. My brother lost his image. People started to see the truth about him. My mother, she became quiet. She tried to call me many times, but I did not answer. Something inside me was different now. I was not angry all the time, but I was done. I decided to stay away. I focused on my work again. I cleaned my apartment. I put everything back the way I wanted. Slowly, it felt like home again. But I was not the same person anymore. I learned something important. Family is important, yes. But respect is more important. Trust is more important. And boundaries. Boundaries are necessary. Now I live my life with clear rules. Nobody can take what is mine. Nobody can control my choices. And nobody can use family as a reason to hurt me. Sometimes I feel sad when I think about my mother. Sometimes I remember the past, but then I remind myself, I chose myself. And that is not wrong. I stand alone now, but I stand strong. Because I finally understand one simple truth. Family does not mean accepting betrayal.